Good morning, Carney Lynn, Diana, Jerry. Good morning to all of you. So, um, Rosalina, so you can see my screen, yeah? You can see my screen, my PowerPoint. Okay, good. All right. So we are going to start. And I want to thank OCAR. I want to thank Elsie for putting this class together. It's a very important class for you. Understanding between a will and a trust. Both of these, well, let's start with the concept. You are a real estate agent. If you hang around long enough in this business, in the real estate business, you're going to run into a situation where your homeowner die. 1000%, you're going to see that. We are in the midst of the biggest wealth transfer happening because baby boomers are dying. Right? Have you been seeing people dying, right? It's life. We're all going to die. That's a guarantee. So when you get a phone call from your client, the son, the daughter that says, my mom passed away, will you please sell this house? You say yes. But how? How does the transaction look like? If mom had a will, it's a way different ball game handling that real estate transaction versus mom having a trust. Mom died, dad died. If they have a trust versus a will, is very different in how you handle that real estate transaction. That's it. That's the bottom line. That is the question you need to answer. Homeowner die, they have a trust, they have a will, or they have nothing. What do you do? That's it. That's the answer you need to this class. So I challenge you, don't waste your time, your this morning with me. When you walk away from this class, you need to be able to articulate to that son, to that daughter, how this real estate transaction will happen. What does the roadmap look like? Everybody game? Are we good? Everybody up for the challenge? All right, Christine Liu, that's the attitude, right? Let's get to it, Paul. Let's get to it. All right, so let us begin. All right, so my name is Paul Horn. I'm a probate attorney. This is all I do. All right, so let's talk about will versus a trust. Okay, so all right, so on this screen, I think it's a pretty good pro and cons of a will versus a trust. Okay, so you should take out your phone. This is a Kodak moment. Take a picture of this. Take out your phone, take a picture of what's on your screen. Okay, so when you die, yeah, I said when. It's only a matter of time. When you die, it is extremely difficult to speak after you die. Do you guys realize that it's difficult to talk after you die? So how are you going to talk after you die? Well, you're going to speak through your will or through your trust. Can we all agree on that? right? After you die, it is just difficult to talk. So you own a house. What are your wishes? Because you cannot speak after you die. You're either gonna basically you're either gonna have three things. You're either gonna have a will, have a trust, or have nothing. Okay, those are the three things. You're either gonna have nothing, you maybe a will, or maybe a trust. Those are the three things. The trust is the best thing to have, and we'll find out why. Okay, so a will is to do it yourself. It's very cheap. Okay, very cheap right now, very expensive later on for your family. Okay, so a will, it does not take effect after you die. So a will just says, when I die, give my house to my children. When I die, give my house to charity. It does not have any incapacity planning. What do I mean by that? Well, you don't just drop dead. You don't just drop dead, right? You have dementia. You have Alzheimer's. So right now, Arnold, Jerry, Christine, you guys can sign your name, right? But there might be a time where you're not able to sign your name. And you're going to need your husband, your wife, your son, the daughter to sign your name and take care of you. A will does not provide that. Okay. And a will always put you into probate court. So if you want probate, if you want misery for your family, get a will. But wait a minute, Paul. Wait a minute, Paul. If there's a will, isn't there a way to avoid a probate? No. Too bad, so sad. If you have a will, it's a guaranteed sure way to go to probate. So a will put you into probate. Very, very important to remember. Okay. All right, next. So if you have a will, it goes to probate. The probate attorney charges you a lot of money. It's very expensive. All right. It takes a lot of time, a lot of hassle to go through probate. You don't want probate. Okay. If you have a will, if you use Medi-Cal, you have to pay Medi-Cal back. So the preferable way is to have a trust. The preferable way is to have a trust. Okay. A trust avoids a probate. If you have a trust, no probate needed. Okay. And a trust will also provide for, hey, if you have dementia, Alzheimer's, who can step in your shoe to take care of your house, your asset? So a will provide for incapacity planning. A will protects your bloodline. A trust protects your bloodline. A good trust is a multi-generational trust where it says when you die, the house goes to your children. If your children die, it goes to your grandchildren. It's multi-generational. It keeps all your hard-earned asset in your family. That's a trust. A trust can also protect from second marriages. If you pass away, your husband, your wife marry someone else, and to keep that someone else from grabbing all your hard-earned asset, a trust can and should prevent that as well. Okay. And a trust also protects your children. When you die, the house goes to your children. The trust can say, hey, it goes to my children, but if my children were to get a divorce, my son-in-law, my daughter-in-law do not get my house, do not get my asset. A trust protects your son, your daughter in that regard as well. Okay. A trust also has a special need feature built into. Special need, meaning your granddaughter, your son, maybe has some sort of disability, receiving governmental benefit, autism. The trust will be able to retain your asset and still have your son, your daughter still qualify for any governmental benefits. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so far, what I talked about, do you have any questions so far? Your job today is not just to sit there, learn something. If I say something you don't understand, if I say something that sounds idiotic, you should challenge me, ask me, right? All right. So, yeah, if you have any questions, just type in the chat box, and I will answer for you. Okay, let us continue. So what's on the screen is a really good diagram, is a really good point of the pros and cons a will versus a trust. Okay. Yeah. So Jerson asked in the chat box, what if there's a will and one child only? Then too bad, so sad, right? Never have a will. Don't do it, because a will says, yeah, when I die, I give it to my son, Jerson, but Jerson, your son has to go to court to get it. Don't do a will, do a trust. The trust says, hey, when I die, my name is Jerson. When I die, give it to my one child. If my one child die, give it to my grandchildren. If my grandchildren are not there, maybe give it to my charity or to my nieces or nephew. A trust is a superior way of passing down your asset. Don't do a will in California, do a trust. Much better for you. All right, let us continue. All right, so when we talk about will, there's two types of will. There's a holographic will and there's a formal will. So a holographic will is like you go to a Tom Ferry convention at the Bellagio. After the convention is 4 day, you're tired, you pull out a piece of napkin, you write, my name is Jerson, my name is Mary Smith, I want to give everything to my son. And you just sign your name. That's a holographic will. There's something called a formal will. A formal will is going to require a signature and two witnesses. Okay. So let's talk about this. As a real estate agent, you get a phone call from the son, the daughter that says, my mom died. The first thing you should do is pull up the grand deed. Pull up the grand deed. If the house is in a trust, great. No probate needed. The successor trustee signs your listing agreement and you close escrow. That's it. As simple as that. But if you have a will, you see that little teardrop on the screen, guys? On the right-hand side, do you see a little teardrop? No? You don't see the teardrop? Anybody out there? The will make you cry. It's going to go to probate. Arno, thank you, Arno. I wanted to get the point across to you. If you have a will, it's going to go to probate. It's going to make you cry. It's called tears from heaven. If you have a will, it's going to go to probate. Just remember that, tears from heaven. Okay? All right. If there's a will, it goes to probate. The person that can legally sign your listing agreement is the personal representative. Personal representative. Okay? Okay. If it's a full authority probate, you need 3 forms of closed escrow: order for probate letters, and a notice of opposed action. If it's limited authority, God help you. It's going to require court confirmation. You got to sell at least 90%, all kinds of stuff. 10% down, that's limited authority. This is a Kodak moment. Take out your phone, take a picture of this screen. It's very important. It diagrams out the roadmap of how you would close an escrow transaction if it's under a trust versus under a will. Okay, take a picture of this. The next time someone asks you, well, the difference between a will and a trust, I want you to remember tears from heaven, right? The teardrop you see on the right-hand side, because it's going to require a probate. A probate is very complicated. It takes at least a year and a half, 2 years to complete. All right, so take a picture of this on the screen. On the screen, as a realtor, I want you to understand on the left-hand side, if the house is in a trust, mom has 4 children. The one child, the one son that can sign your listing agreement is the successor trustee. Okay. On the screen, on your left-hand side, if mom died with a trust, mom has 4 children, which of the 4 would have the power to sign your listing agreement? It would be the successor trustee. On the right-hand side of the screen, if there's a will, it goes to probate. In a probate, mom has 4 children. Which of the 4 would have the power to sign your listing agreement? It would be the personal representative. Personal representative. Take a picture of this. The next time you get a phone call, it's your client, the son or daughter, someone died, you're going to pull up this picture in your phone. Okay? Sam Rodriguez has a question. If in a probate, can a property be foreclosed? The answer is yes. But in a probate, if there is a trustee sale, I, the probate attorney, can go to court and get a restraining order against the lender from foreclosing. Okay, so even in a probate, if there's a foreclosure, I can go to court and seek a temporary restraining order against the lender from foreclosing until we get that one son, that one daughter approved to sign your listing agreement to sell this house. Carney Lynn asked a question. Carney Lynn asked, does all 4 sons needs to sign the listing agreement in a trust? Great question, Carney Lynn. Carney Lynn, are you listening? Type in yes. Carney Lynn, you just asked me a question. I need to see a yes. Type in a yes. Carney Lynn, on the left-hand side of the screen, Carney Lynn, on the left-hand side of the screen, where I diagram out for you the house, you pull the grand deed, mom died, the son call you, you pull the grand deed, the house is in the trust. Carney Lynn, I want you to follow those arrows on the left-hand side. Carney Lynn, I'm going to give you a second. So look at your screen, Carney Lynn. Carney Lynn, look at the screen. Mom died. You pull the grand deed. You call your title up. Hey, title up, give me the address to 123 Main Street, Laguna Niguel. The title company emails you the grand deed. It shows the house is in the trust. Carney Lynn, can you follow down the arrow? Follow the arrow on your left-hand side. The house is in the trust. Which of the 4 sons has the legal capacity to sign your listing agreement? What's the answer, guys? Can you follow along with me? What is the answer? The house is in a trust. Who has the power to sign your listing agreement? The answer is on the screen on your left-hand side. What's the answer, guys? Arnold, thank you. The successor trustee. Carney Lynn, you got it. successor trustee. Carney Lane, you get an A. Perfect. That's it, guys. It's as simple as that. The house is in the trust. You follow what you see on the screen. That's the diagram. Okay. Mom died with no trust, but just a will only, just a will. You follow the right-hand side. When you follow the right-hand side on the screen that I diagram out for you, if all mom had is a will, the will goes to probate, the probate court will appoint a personal representative to step into mom's shoe to administer the estate. And that person, we call that person the personal representative. So in a probate case, who has the authority to sign your listing agreement? It would be the personal representative. Arnold Limboy asked question. Arnold Limboy asked, whose name will the listing agreement be? If it's a probate case, the seller will be, for example, Arnold Limboy. Let's say for example, Arnold Limboy, if your dad passed away and you're doing the probate, your dad passed away, and let's say the court appoint you, Arnold Limboy, as the personal representative, the listing, the seller would be Arnold Limboy, comma, personal representative of the Henry Limboy estate. Arnold, does that answer your question? Arnold, quick, chat box, does that answer your question? Okay, so that's how you would handle as far as who the seller is, okay? All right, so let us move forward. So, let's see, let us move forward. So on the screen is a probate diagram. Probate takes at least 1 year to do. Probate is very painful. So if you have a will, your family, your children, your estate will be stuck in court for at least 1 year. At least 1 year. And in a probate case, probate takes at least 1 year to do, But I want you to know that you can sell this house while the probate is active. Someone died with a will or died with no will, it requires a probate. A probate takes at least 1 year to complete, but you don't have to wait till the probate is complete for you to sell that house, okay? All right, let us continue. So when you are in a probate, you're gonna need, let's say it's a full authority probate. In a probate, there's 2 types of authority, full authority, limited authority. If it's a full authority probate, it's very simple. All you gotta do is give escrow this form you see on the screen. Take a picture of this form. If you're in probate, you need to give escrow this form, plus this form right here called letters, plus this third form right here called notice of proposed action. That's it. If you are in a probate transaction, let's say your client died, you and the children go see a probate attorney, you ask the probate attorney, hey, please process this probate with full authority. The judge will grant your client full authority. You can close escrow about 5 months later. All you need to do is give escrow this form you see on the screen known as order for probate, and another form called letters, exactly what you see on the screen, and a third form which you see on the screen is called notice of proposed action. If it's a probate with full authority, even though probate takes 1 year, 2 year, 3 year to complete, you can sell this house in 5 months by giving these 3 forms to escrow. You sell the house, you get the commission, the buyer gets the house, but the money sits in the estate, in the probate estate account until the probate is done. Then the heirs will get their money. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So the goal of any estate planning is to control the property while you are alive and well, provide for yourself and your loved one if you should become disabled, give what you have to whom you want, the way you want, when you want it, and minimize the impact of professional fees, court fees, and taxes. So this is a very important screen. This is a very important screen on. So when you go do your estate planning, do your trust, you should answer these are the goals you should answer on the screen. Okay, very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. All right. So in a probate, you can go 6% commission for full authority, 5% for limited authority. Okay. In a probate, the total asset is 184,500, 184,500. That's the threshold, what's needed for a probate. Okay. So back to what's on the screen. Back to what's on the screen. Take a picture of this. If you have a trust, well, forget about what I just said. You're going to die one day. You need to answer what's on the screen. Okay? All of you and any homeowner out there, you need to answer what's on the screen. All right. So, remember how I said, hey, the difference between a will and a trust? If you did a will, it does not control, it does not provide for incapacity or if you're disabled, but a trust does. Okay. So when you go and draft your trust, the lawyer will also give you something called a durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney. So a lot of time when you go sell a house for an elderly couple, the husband might have dementia. He or she cannot sign your listing agreement. You ask for the durable power of attorney. The durable power of attorney says, hey, if I'm incapacitated, my wife, my son, my daughter can sign my name. That's called durable power of attorney. Okay, very, very important. Okay. The difference in a will and a trust. In a will is a will is not a very good way to pass a house down to your kid. Okay. If you do a trust, it's going to allow for protection against the predator and creditor that might attack your children for the house. A trust will do that. Your trust can say the house is for my daughter, but if she gets a divorce, the husband cannot touch it. Hey, the house is for my daughter. If my daughter passes away, it goes to my grandchildren. So a good trust will be a multi-generational trust. All right. So, by the way, if you have a will, it goes to probate, and probate is public information. There's no privacy in your will. When you die, if you have a will, it's going to get recorded at the court so everybody can see it. Okay, that's a will. All right. So if you have a trust, there's no probate. So this is a pretty good slide to take a picture of. If you have a trust, no probate, and that's what you want. While you are alive, go get yourself a trust, put your house in the trust. When you die, there's no probate. Okay. All right. So how is a trust different from a will? Very different. A trust is a superior way of passing the house down to your kid. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, baby boomers are gonna, unfortunately, it's gonna begin to start natural death. Their age is going to catch up to them. They're going to start passing away. We're going to be entering the largest wealth transfer ever in the US history. Okay. So it's good to learn. So it's good to learn. I'm glad you are taking this class because the largest wealth transfer is going to happen. And how is it going to happen? The real estate part, it's going to happen in this manner. This is a great picture to take on your screen. Okay. As we embark on this journey where baby boomers are going to pass down their real estate to their kid, it's going to pass down in two ways. On the screen, what I highlight in blue is if a house is in a trust. Baby boomer are going to die. When they die, the house is going to get passed to their children via a trust. If it's via trust, you follow what's in blue on the screen in front of you. Okay. A baby boomer pass away, the first thing you're going to do is pull the grand deed. If the house is in a trust, the grand deed is going to say the house is owned by a trust. You follow what's in blue. You follow what I diagram out in blue on the left-hand side. Mom died, you pull the grand deed, the house is under mom's name. Even if mom had a will, does not matter, goes through probate. And the probate, I diagram it out for you. It's in red on the right-hand side of the screen. It shows you, hey, if the house is under mom's name, there is no trust. Even if there's a will, it goes through probate. And in a probate, the personal representative have the power, have the legal capacity to sign your listing agreement. In a probate, there's two types of probate: full authority probate and limited authority probate. If it's full authority probate, right in the center of your screen, I diagram it out for you. There's only 3 forms you need to submit to escrow to close your transaction, which are order for probate letters followed by the notice of proposed action. Okay. If it's a limited authority probate, there's a lot more work involved. If it's a limited authority probate, it requires court confirmation. Hence, instead of closing your escrow in 5 months under full authority, if it's limited authority, it requires court confirmation. It might take you 8 months, 10 months, a year to close your transaction. You don't want that. So always ask for full authority. Okay. All right. So take a picture of what's on the screen. It's another diagram to illustrate how would you handle an escrow selling a house when someone passed away. Okay. All right. I want to teach you another concept. I want to share with you another concept. Okay. I want to share with you the step-up basis. In California, you're going to encounter where the house was bought for very cheap. The house was bought for very, very cheap. Mom passed away. The house might have been bought for $200,000. Now it's worth $2 million. The house might have been bought for $300,000. Now it's worth $1 million. And you're selling that house. There's no tax due. There's no capital gain. Why? Due to a concept known as the step up in basis. Okay, the step up in basis. So let me repeat. You get a phone call. it was your client, the phone calls from the son, the daughter. Hey, mom passed away. We need to sell this house. Okay, great. Now you know how to do that now. Let's talk a little bit about tax. So I am a probate attorney. I'm also a CPA. What does CPA stands for? CPA, Chinese Party Animal. So let's talk about taxes. Mom bought the house for 200,000. Mom died. You're selling it for $1 million. There's no tax due, no capital gain, based on what's known as the step up in basis. Step up in basis. It's an IRS law. There's a tax code, IRC, section 1014. Internal Revenue Code section 1014 says, when you receive a house from mom or dad, even though mom and dad bought it for very cheap, when at the date of death, it has gone up 5x, 10x, does not matter. This is known as a step up in basis. When you sell that house for that child, that daughter, that son, no capital gain, step up in basis. The only way you're able to take advantage of the step up in basis is if you do not add your children's name onto the grand deed. Don't do it. Okay, don't do it. Instead, create a trust. Put the house in the trust. When you die, it goes to your son, your daughter. The realtor sells this house. No tax due to the children. No capital gain. Take a picture of this. There's a lot of great things you learned today. This is one of them. Take a picture of this. Okay. Your children don't have to pay. They do not need to pay any taxes, any capital gain. Do yourself a favor. Give them that gift. Okay. Give them that gift. I'm not paying any capital gain by not adding their name onto the grand deed, right? Give them that gift. Rochelle asked a question. Is there no taxation even if property is an investment property? You ready? Rochelle, here's the answer. Yes! Rochelle, you bought that rental property for $200,000. When you die, that rental property is worth $2 million. When you die, your son, your daughter sells it for $2 million. No capital gain. No capital gain. Okay? Understand the step up and basis, Arnold. This is the tax concept I'm teaching you. Don't put your children's name onto the grand deed. Don't do it. Okay? Arnold, so that's not good enough. Give me some writing. There you go, Arnold. Here's an illustration, Arnold. Limboy. Mom bought the house for $300,000. 40 years later, she died, and they sell the house for $3 million. Zero capital gain. Zero capital gain. Okay? A lot of great stuff you learned today. You forgot everything due to all my bad jokes and all my yelling. Just remember this. Do your son, do your daughter a favor, right? Don't put their name onto the grand deed. All right. Okay. So Dave Wilkinson asked a question. Dave Wilkinson says, if you included your children's name on the grand deed with the intent of never selling the home even after your death, can't they then keep the old tax basis that was done prior to enactment of Prop 19? The answer is no. What I'm teaching you is IRS capital gain. What you're asking me is Proposition 19, property tax. Okay, yeah. So your property tax will stay the same. It will not increase if that is your primary resident. And when you die, your son, your daughter move in. Okay, yeah. All right. Christine Liu asked a question. Christine Liu says, does the asset need to be in the trust to have a step up in basis? Yeah, so put your house into a trust. You have 10 houses, you have 5 houses, you have 3 houses. You bought them for all very cheap. They all have gone up in value. Put them all into a trust. When you die, no probate, and it goes to your kids sell it for market value, whatever it is on the date of death, for example, no tax due. Okay. Rochelle asked, if I own investment property with my mom and quick claim her, would that trigger a reassessment? Rochelle, I don't understand your question. You need to ask, the way you typed it up, Rochelle, I don't quite understand it. Okay, yeah. Let me see if I can unmute you, Rochelle. Let me see if I can unmute you. Oh, let me see if I can. I'm going to unmute you, Rochelle, because I don't quite understand the way you typed out your question. I need a little further clarification. So let me see if I can unmute Rochelle. Oh, so she can kind of elaborate, give me a little more detail on her question so I can answer properly. Rochelle, am I able to unmute you? Probably not, right? Okay. All right. Yeah. So, okay. All right, guys. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think I can unmute. I'm not able to unmute her. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so when we talk about tax, we're talking about IRS tax and property tax. Property tax has to do with Proposition 19, okay? So Proposition 19, so every year you pay property tax, correct? The answer is yes. Every year you pay property tax. It might be very low. So the question, when you die, does your children get to keep the same old property tax? If it's your primary resident, if they move into it, no reassessment. If it's an investment property or rental property, it will get reassessed. But if they were to sell those rental property, no reassessment, no capital gain. Okay. I'm going to give you various links. Okay. I'm going to give you, so we touch on a lot of valuable concept today. Okay. What I'm going to give you is this. I'm going to share with you several links. Okay. I'm going to share with you several video links. So the first one is this. I'm going to put this link into the chat box. Okay. Watch this link over. This is link number 1. When you click on, so if you go to your chat box and you click on that link, it will take you to this video that I made. It's a good summary of what we've been discussing the last 45 minutes. I'm going to give you another link, a very important link. This video right here is vesting. When you buy a house, what is the best way to vest title? I'm going to put that in the chat box as well. In the chat box, if you click on link number 2, it will take you to my website. I shot a video. If you're buying a house, you and your wife, you and your husband, how should you take title? Community property, joint tenant, living trust. What is the best way, how to vest title? One last video I want to give you, one last link. This is link number 3. In the chat box, I'm going to put in link number 3. If you click on link number 3, it will take you to this video. This video will give you a nice review of the probate process from start to finish. From start to finish. Okay. All right, guys. So that's all I've got for you today. Okay. In the chat box are 3 links to 3 different videos. Watch it. This session is being recorded, and I think it'll be on the YouTube channel. It'll be on the YouTube channel, OCAR YouTube channel. You can review it later. Okay. So thank you, all of you, for being with me. Okay, visit those 3 links that I have in the chat box for you. It's a good summary of everything we talked about today. Everything I talked about today is very, very critical. Even if you don't take a listing of someone who passed away, everything I teach today impacts you directly. Why? Because you're going to die one day. And when you die one day, what is the proper way of passing a house to your kid? What's the proper way? What is the most efficient way to avoid a probate, to avoid Medicare recovery? Okay. At this moment, I want to thank Elsie, who's with us right now. She's doing a great job by putting together all these great webinars for you guys. If the information is useful for you today, go and thank OCAR, thank Elsie. They did it. So, yeah. Okay, guys. So, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. And just watch, if you have any questions and anything I covered, just watch the video over, because Elsie is going to post this. Just watch it over. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you. You guys have a terrific weekend. Thank you, guys.